Hello. Oh, I've got two of you. Hopefully, we're all okay. So, I've attempted to be a bit more high tech today and actually have my mic on. I've got a frog in my throat. So, if this sounds okay, do say. I've just tried to change the setup a little bit, and I thought if I pop my mic on, it might sound a little better. But I might suddenly be really, really loud for you. So, apologies if that's the case. But do let me know if you can hear me. Oh, we're nice and early as well. All seems to be working. I have put blinds up, I promise, but we film this right at the time the sun comes down behind me. And I have covered that window as best as I can. There's a blind on it, there's all sorts. But it's just so bright at this time. Hello, hello. So if anyone has the ability to just put a message in just to say that you can hear me, that would be fab because I don't trust me in tech attempting to use a microphone and hoping it sounds a bit better. Hi, Rebecca. I hope you're well today. I like to know who I've got who's actually doing this with me. Sounds great. Amazing, Stephen. Thank you. That's good. I use this little mic for the pre-records, and although it's getting used to it being on my face. I think hopefully it just sounds a little bit better, and it means I'm not going to worry as much that when I move around the mat you can't hear me. I was trying to always gear myself up so I was facing the mat before, so I could kind of shout at you, which isn't very yogic. Amazing. So I think we've got a few of you on. I hope you're all really well. Well done for still coming to yoga. I'm very impressed. I thought by week, I don't know, 810, whichever we're on, we all would have given up by now. But it's good. I'm very impressed with you. Get gold stars from me. Amazing. So we'll just give it another minute or two. And let me know how you're feeling. If there's anything in particular you want me to throw in today that you're needing. If not, we're just going to go for our, usual little bit of flow to see what happens on the mat. That's about as planned as I go. I've put plants behind me. I'm slowly making it look more and more nice, hopefully. But we'll just see how that sun goes, eh? See how that looks. Amazing. So the main focus that I've kind of really been having is a lot of work on the back, mainly just because I think for a lot of us we're working at home, and I don't think anyone's set up that well at home. Well, I'm certainly not. That their desk and their chair and everything is like the perfect position to support your back. So I'm definitely feeling it there a lot more than I normally would. I'm trying to get up each hour and move around a little bit. But again, somehow this when you're at home, I suppose it depends on what distractions you've got. It can be quite hard to actually get up and move around a little bit. I really should try and get a little better at it. Amazing. So we've got you here. I reckon it's 7. Okay, so we'll get going. The guinea pigs are eating their lettuce, so at least only I can hear that today. Now I've got a microphone on, you don't have to listen to them. So whenever you're ready to then, down on the mat, crisscross. You can tell I've been teaching the kids yoga, crisscross, seated pose. Sitting up nice and tall for me. And then we'll take our 3 breaths to tune in. So bringing those hands down to the sides. Take a nice big inhale to float all the way up, nice and tall. Easy exhale out the mouth. Brings the hands down to the chest. And we'll just plug the thumbs into the heartbeat. So wait to see if you can find that nice, easy rhythm. 2 more times just the same. Big inhale floats you up. Easy exhale softens you back down. And one more time. Big inhale. Easy exhale. And while we have the thumbs on the heartbeat, It's a good time just to scan through the body and just notice how it feels today. That might just be the temperature of the skin. It might be any aches you've got today, any niggles. Maybe even just where you're connected to the ground. And then just draw that attention towards the breath without changing it too much. Just noticing if it's high in the chest. Maybe it's a little lower in the belly. If it feels quick or slow. And finally, the mind. I just want you to notice how you feel right this moment. Whenever you feel ready to, we'll start to bring the hands down to the knees with the palms up and we'll warm ourselves up. So sitting up nice and tall, starting with the head and working our way down. So take a nice big inhale, turn your head all the way over to the right, just to stretch into the neck. And then as you exhale, going all the way over to the other side, taking that stretch as deeply as you can. Big inhale takes you back. Just feel the breath go down to the belly. And again, that exhale softens you over. If you feel comfortable to, we can always close the eyes here. Just focus on that inhale. Feel the movement down the spine. And that exhale, turning the head as deeply as you can. On your next inhale over to the right, we'll then exhale the head down into that semicircle position. So we're going to relax it all the way down, looking in between the legs, relax the neck and shoulders at the bottom, and then easing up to the other side. Remember, it's just drawing that big U shape with your nose. If it feels good to just let the head relax at the bottom, even give the shoulders a little wiggle and just ease it down, then do. And again, just easing up in your own time, just whatever feels good today. I've definitely got a clicky neck today. We can just take one more of those and center up whenever you feel ready. Have a little wiggle about when you get there. From there, we'll come into our twist. So if you can, I want you to bring your hands down to the ground. Just lift your bottom up just a touch and then come back down. Remember, just placing a cushion under your bottom or putting the hands onto the knees and lifting the chest. So I want you to take your right hand over to that left knee, tucking the other hand behind your waist or on the floor. Take an inhale to lift, and then as you exhale, we're twisting across the body and looking all the way behind us. See if you can take a big inhale, just twist a little deeper. And then as you exhale, all the way to the front. Good. Same thing for the other side. So we cross it over, hand behind. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, twist across. Big inhale, send you round. And then exhale to the front. Good. Moving in towards the waist, we'll bring that right hand down. Inhale the left hand nice and high. And then as you exhale, see if you can soften over to the side. So if you can, coming onto the forearm, remember if you need to, take the knees in the same direction so you can get the stretch there without your bum falling off the ground. And then from there, we'll start to move around a little bit. So if you lean forward, sweep the arm in front, bring the head down, get that stretch in towards the back. And you can just linger there, soften into it. And we can start to open up from there. So we roll the chest, look up to the ceiling and send the arm behind, getting that stretch in towards the shoulder and the chest. Good. So it might feel nice to just stretch the arm overhead. Might feel good to lean it forward or backwards. I just want you to have that little bit of time just to explore that stretch yourself. See where you need it, where it maybe feels a little tight. And just give the body a bit of time to ease into it, just to stretch out. And if all of it feels tight, then just keep moving. Keep the movement there. Whenever you feel ready for the other side, take a nice big inhale to lift up, ribs nice and high in the middle, and then we can exhale either both knees coming over to the other side, or if you are in that seated pose, just easing over from there, whichever you prefer. Same thing here. We can lean it forward, bringing the head down. Feel that stretch. It should be sort of underneath your armpit, down the side of your back, and in towards your back. Or we can start to open everything out, looking up to the ceiling and get the stretch there. Just take that movement wherever you need it. This is my clunky shoulder, so I'm just going to see how that's feeling today. I'm going to take both legs over. Let's take it nice and easy. Whenever you feel ready to, on your next inhale, I want you to lift all the way up. Come into seated if you can. And on that exhale, gently forward fold down. So we can wiggle our bums here to get a little bit more comfortable. Either crossing the arms over your chest and bringing the head down, or if you're happy to, we slide the arms out in front of us and relax the head there. We want to take 2 big deep breaths, and on those exhales, we're just trying to soften down a little bit deeper. So we inhale, we lift the chest, make the space, and then as we exhale, we soften down into it. Okay. One more. On the next inhale, slowly start to lift your chest, walk the hands in, and then send them behind you just so you can lean back and take your legs out for a wide-legged stretch. So, this doesn't need to be too extreme. We're still just trying to warm everything up. See how the legs feel. If you want to put a little bend in the knees, you can. If you want to bring the legs a little closer together, you can. If you want to lift your bum just to get slightly more comfortable. I know that comfortable is a massive lie in this pose, so just wherever you feel like you can rest for a moment, okay? If you can, toes facing up towards the ceiling just to deepen that stretch a little bit more. We'll bring the hands down to the sides. Take a big inhale to lift up. Turn all the way over to the right and then exhale it down. But this isn't about grabbing those toes. This is about relaxing the chest and relaxing the belly onto the top of your leg. So we'll take some breaths here again. As you inhale, lift the chest. So we make the space. And then as you exhale, ease it down into it. 2 more breaths there for me. So we inhale, lift it up. Exhale, soften it down. And one more. So we inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Good. From this position, I want you to take your right hand to the inside of that leg. So it's going to be wherever it's going to be, okay? Take a big inhale, lift your left hand all the way up to the ceiling. If this feels enough, keep it here. If you've got a little bit more wiggle room, I want you to turn the hand to face you and see if you can bring it overhead. So it's going to again come down wherever it wants to come down, but think about keeping the chest open, about looking forward, just to get the stretch in the side rather than relaxing the head down. Okay. We've just got 2 breaths here. Remember, those exhales are all about the softening. Those are the times that we ease into it. And the breaths in, where we lift. On your next inhale, bring both hands all the way up to the ceiling for me, nice and tall. Turn to face the other leg, and then exhale it down. So the same thing, we're just easing it down. If you do find that this is too tight on your other leg, do feel free just to pop it in instead. So just take the stretch off the hips. Those few breaths to start with. So inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, relax the tummy, the chest, the shoulders, the arms down. 2 more breaths for me. So inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Good. One more time. We slowly start to lift the chest. Same thing on this side. So I'm going to bring my left hand to the inside of my leg. It's just going to rest wherever it wants to rest. Then I inhale to lift my opposite hand all the way up to the ceiling. So this is a nice stretch as it is, just looking up to the ceiling, opening this chest. opening the shoulder. If you wanted to, turn the hand to face you and maybe just bring it overhead. Again, it doesn't need to be about touching those toes. It is more about keeping that chest, almost creating a little twist in your waist so we get that deeper stretch. Good. Just a few breaths. On that next inhale, slowly roll up to the top for me. You can bring your legs forward if you need to. You can pick them up to do it, okay? Give them a little wiggle. Wiggle your leggings around, do all of that. And then we're just going to finish our warm up with a little stretch in towards the hips. So we're going to do our little rock the baby. So I want you to take one foot into your opposite hand. So it doesn't matter which one, we're just going to take foot into opposite hand like this. From this position, I want you to wiggle this foot in towards you as much as you can. So rather than the foot coming down, I want you to bring it towards your face. So we're trying to create a little right angle here. If you've got a nice bent elbow, you're going to take that foot, you're going to tuck it in your elbow crease and hug it in towards you and then rock it like a little baby. Okay? Oh, you can see this other foot. Don't look at the other foot. I can't help but rock it at the same time. If this is too tight, if you can't quite get to that elbow crease, hold on to the foot wherever you can and rock wherever you can. Okay, so it's just about waking everything up. See how it feels. If you've got that room, I want you to take your free hand, place it behind you, and lean back a little bit into it as well. Get the deeper stretch. Good. Give it a little squeeze and then release. Going on to the other side. So if you guys come to my class, you know second side is always the harder side because your body knows which is tighter and it doesn't want to do it. So ease it up. If you can get to the elbow crease, bring the shin up, bring the leg up to get that stretch. Definitely my tighter leg. My goodness. If you wanted to, we could lean it back, get that stretch. I can get it into my elbow crease today. There we go. Good. Give it one last little squeeze and then release. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. Grab a little drink if you need it. And then we'll go into a first bit of a flow. Hope that was all okay. We've all survived so far. I do have a little tickle today. It's the joys of hay fever starting at the same time. Amazing. Okay, so we're going to move into our flow. So I want you to start by coming into a box pose for me. So box pose, I should turn this way so I can actually still see the screen just in case someone calls out to me. Knees directly under the hips and those hands underneath the shoulders. So we want that nice flat back. We want those elbows tucked in. So the inside of your elbow is facing each other nice and tall. Give your tummy a little squeeze if you need to, just to flatten the back out. And we'll take our cat cows. So we look out in front. Inhale, lift your head and your bum nice and high, belly low as you look up. This is your cow. And then we exhale, curl the spine into cat. So I'm curling the spine, looking in between the legs, big push into my shoulder blades here just to lift the back. Take an inhale, come back through to cow. Remember to push those hands down as you look up, get the shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, we curl it round again. I want you to go for two more just the same. So we inhale, lift it up. Stick your bum up in the air. And then exhale, curl it round. Good. And the last one. Big inhale, lift up. And then exhale, curl it round. Then we can take our moving cat-cow. So in cat pose, looking between your legs, slowly bring your bum down to your feet. So the spine is curled as we're coming down, so it should give you a nice little stretch down the back. Once you're down into child's pose, you can just take those hands slightly further away and see if you can bring the head down. So we're just trying to stretch those shoulders. They're definitely tighter today than they normally are. Soften the elbows down, and then as you inhale, gently come back up and into your cow pose. So you can move the hands, make sure they're under the shoulders, stick your bum up and your head up in the air, and curl the back. And then we'll do that two more times. So come into cat, looking in between the legs, slowly bring it down. Maybe lengthen the arms a little further away. And remember, child's pose is here at any point. So if there's anything we're doing that doesn't feel so good today, you just bring yourself into child's pose and ease it out. So I'm just coming all the way back up to cow. And one more time for me. And in child's pose, if you're like me and you're foolish and you eat your tea before yoga, take your knees out a little bit wider, keep your feet together so it gives your belly a bit more room. Good. And then find your neutral spine for me. So nice neutral spine. We're going to take our little bum wag side to side. So I want you to lean your bottom over to the left, look over your left shoulder, see if you can see it, and then do the same thing over to the right. So you lean your bum to the right and look over that right shoulder. Good. Same thing, just a few more times. Little bum wag. And then come back to center for me. We'll move up for our first down dog. So moving those hands just slightly further away, curl the toes and take that big inhale to lift up. Thumbs nice and high, heels off the ground, pushing all the way into the base of the hands so we can feel this in the back of the legs. Just start to pedal the feet there. So like you're kind of walking on the spot, get that stretch down the legs. Good. If it feels good, taking the feet out nice and wide. Really push into the back of the legs here. Wiggle your bum, bend your knees. Good. From this position with your feet out wide, 3 times we're going to see if we can bend those knees, bring the bums down low, and get those knees as close to the mat as we can. So if you can have a quick squifter at the screen, then I shall show you what I'm talking about. If not, we'll do it together. So we come up the tiptoes. I bend my knees. I'm going to come low, 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 low. Nearly there. And then I'm going to push, 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 push. And then lean it back. So we'll do that 3 times together. Inhale up to the tiptoes. Lean forward just slightly. Bend those knees. Come down low, 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 low. Good. And push it up. Lean it back. Good. 2 more the same. So we inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring the knees down. Inhale, push up. And lean it back. And last one for me. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, push up. Exhale. Good. Bring those feet a little closer together. We'll slowly come up to the mat for our forward fold. So bend your knees and then gently walk up to the top of your mat. Shift your hands to help you. Sort all your clothes out once you get there. There we go. And once we're there, we want feet hip distance apart. So 2 fists between your big toes. Knees as soft as you want them to be here. And we're just going to take our little rag doll. So bring hands to opposite elbows, relax your head down and have a nice little sway side to side. You can give your head a bit of a shake here. Draw your little yes and your little no. Try and relax the face, shoulders, down the neck. Take a nice big deep inhale. As you exhale, relaxing those hands down towards the ground. Coming into our little twist here. So I want you to take right hand to the outside of your left leg, then inhale the left hand all the way up to the ceiling, looking up if you can. Exhale back down. Same thing on the other side. So we cross it over, big inhale to lift up, and then exhale back down. Good. Bend those knees. Inhale, roll up to stand. Squeeze the tummy as you go. Head's the last thing up. Take that nice big exhale once you're there. Good. And just for a giggle, let's see how the balance feels today. So I want you to lean over to your left, squeeze your tummy, find something in front of you to focus on, and then inhale, lift your right knee up. And as you exhale, soften that left leg. So soften the left knee. Use your free hand to do any jazz hands you need to. Just keep looking out in front. And I just want you to see if you can open up that right hip for me. So send your right knee over. My balance is incredible today. If you fancy a little extra challenge, I want you to see if you can circle your right ankle at the same time as moving the leg. Oh, I took it to a step too far there, I think. There we go. Take an inhale, lift the knee up to the chest. Exhale back, low lunge. So sweep it back. Blimey, that's about the worst my balance has been for a long time. So have a little moment in your low lunge. If you need to, soften the back knee down, uncurl the toes. If you're happy to, just keep it up a little bit higher for me. Twisted lunge here. So right hand down, inhale the left hand all the way up to the ceiling and looking up if you can. And as you exhale, I want you to semicircle it forward. So we're going to bring it out in front and then slowly drop it down to the ground. Coming onto your open side. So remember, your left hand can go a little further away. Inhale, lift that right hand all the way up. Good. And then semicircle it forward. So I'm just going to reach it forward and bring it back down to the ground. Bring both hands down, push back to a plank for me. So push that left leg back, shift your bum around a little bit to find your plank pose. Good. Coming down to the ground, full plank. If you need to, you come down to those knees. If you're feeling strong, you're going to tuck those elbows in and slowly come down. Don't face plant. You'll tell me off if you do. Collapse onto the ground and then up to our little cobra. So hands right by the chest, or if that lower back is tight, bring the hands to the top of your mat for me. Elbows tucked in, we look forward. Inhale, lift it up. Nice and small. Doesn't need to be a full cobra. Wiggle your bum a little bit if you need to, just to ease into it. Take a big inhale. And then exhale, soften back down. Keep those elbows tucked in for me. Good. Curl the toes. Big push, down dog. If you need to, go through the knees. Or if you're feeling strong, you're going to push all the way up and back. Pedal into those feet. Breathe. And then we'll do the same little thing for the other side. So we're going to walk up to the top of our mat for forward fold. Move your hands to help you. And so bring hands to opposite elbows, or just let those arms dangle down and have a nice little sway around. Bring the head down. Good. This time I want you to really bend those knees. Inhale, pick the hands up, interlace them behind your back. Either stretch them down the back to stretch into the shoulders, or if you've got that wiggle room, bend the knees. Inhale, lift those hands all the way up and a little up and over, just to stretch the shoulders. Relax your head here. And then just as we did before, have your little sway side to side. The more you can shake the head out, relax the head, the deeper we can get that stretch. Take a nice big deep inhale. As you exhale, soften the knees, release the hands, drop them down. Bend the knees, inhale, roll up to stand, squeeze the tummy as you go. Head's the last thing up. Big exhale once you're there. Okay. Well, balance on the other side was absolute pants. So let's see how it's on this side, eh? So lean over to your right for me. Squeeze your tummy, look forward. Inhale, lift the left knee up to the chest. Exhale, soften that right knee. Find something to focus on. My wall's too clean. It's very rare for my walls. I need a bit of dirt somewhere. Open up that hip for me. So remember, you can use your right hand to find your balance. This is incredible balance for me. I need to focus today. Focus. If you can, maybe see about giving your ankle a little circle on that left leg. I find I can only circle it to the left when I open to the left and kind of to the right when I come back to the center. Well, that's a lot to think about. Inhale, lift the knee up to the chest. Exhale, back, low lunge. Sweep it back. I don't know why I thought I'd put balance in today. That is the last balance you'll get from me today. I said that a bit freely. From there, coming into twisted lunge. So left hand down, inhale the right hand all the way up to the ceiling. As you exhale, remember that semicircle, so we bring it down. So sweep the hand down all the way. Good. Coming onto the open side, right hand a little bit further away. Inhale the left hand all the way up. And then exhale, semicircle it back. Good. Ground the hands down. Push back to plank again for me. So big push with that right leg. Shift yourself around a little bit. Tuck your bottoms in. Good. Then come down. So either onto the knees first, uncurl the toes, and then slowly down, keeping the elbows tucked in wherever you are. Collapse on the floor. Good. From there, coming into a wide-legged cobra. So I want you to take your feet out past the width of your mat. So this is going to be your lumbar spine here. So just see how it feels. Again, the hands can come to the top of the mat, or if you're happy to, bring them right by the chest, elbows tucked in. Look out in front, take a big inhale, lift it up. And then I want you to exhale and just keep it there and wiggle your bum a little bit. See if you can just ease into it. Let's take a big inhale, open the chest, look forward. And then as you exhale, tuck those elbows in, slowly come down to the ground. Bring the feet together and push back to your child's pose. Let's have a little breather, eh? So inhale up to the knees and then exhale, send it back. Bring the head down. If you need to, wake up all your trousers if you don't like me. Bring your head down. Take the knees out wide. You can even just release some pressure from the shoulders here by bringing the hands together, elbows out wide. Take a few breaths. You can stay there as long as you'd like. Feel free to grab a little drink if you need it. I can't even see what you're drinking today, so gin, beer, it's all good. I think it makes you bendier, it's fine. And hopefully we're all okay there, and hopefully your balance was much better than mine today. I was thinking I was going to put loads of balance in, and I found that first one quite tricky, so maybe I won't. Okay, amazing. So it's tricky because I know that obviously I've got a few of you on here, but I don't know for certain who I have there. 7 Up, sorry. I don't know what that means, Rebecca. What have I said? So, oh, you're on 7. Oh, you're drinking 7 Up. Oh my God. Clearly, I haven't had enough coffee today. I'm on the squash. I'm hardcore. So, well, I know I've got you guys and I know you guys. So, my plan was to go for some down dog split into a low lunge. But just in case there is anybody here that I have not taught yoga to that doesn't know what I mean when I say that, God, I'm going to quickly show you. I promise I've not been drinking, Rebecca. So, down dog split to low lunge. Automatically face that way because that's normally the way I face. I'm just going to quickly show you, just in case there's anyone that doesn't know what I'm banging on about. So it would be coming from a child's pose all the way up through box pose, curl your toes, and then take a big push back to down dog. From this position, we take a down dog split. So I'm going to lean to my left, pick up my right leg as high as I can, bend that knee, look forward to the top of your mat rather than straight down. And then my little tips to you are to lift your toes on your left foot. So can you see I'm going to lift myself up, gives myself more room, give myself more room. Look forward, exhale, sweep the leg through. I didn't quite get there on its own, so I just give it that little wiggle, bit of convincing to do so. So we lift up, bend the knee, lift up with that foot on the floor, look forward, exhale, sweep it through. If it doesn't get there, as politely as you can, suggest that it does. Just sort of wiggle it on through. And that is a down dog split to low lunge, because we're going to take a few little movements from low lunge from there, okay? So just so for anyone who hasn't done one before, this is going to be your first time doing one. So I'm not going to tell you any more than that. I'm just going to see what happens as we go into the flow. Into child's pose for me when you're ready. You've drunk all your 7 Up, Rebecca. Just taking some nice, easy breaths there. Good. On your next inhale, slowly lift up through box pose. Curl the toes, big push down dog. Good. Once you're there, pedaling into those feet, stretching out the legs. And then we're going to take that down dog split to low lunge with the right leg. So lean over to your left, inhale, lift the right leg nice and high, bend the knee, look forward, exhale, sweep it on through. Normally this is when everyone makes those stompy noises, but I can't hear you today, so you're all right. Good. From that position, lift and lower 3 times. So take your hands away, make sure you feel nice and strong in the legs for me. Look forward, inhale, lift it on up, push through those legs. Exhale, soften back down. Keep looking out in front, that will help with your balance. 2 more. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale, back down. On this last one, I want you to stay up for me. So inhale, lift up. And then as you exhale, we're coming into warrior two. Rotate your back heel so it comes flat. Bend that front knee and bring your hands into warrior two. Obviously, I'm facing the wrong way, but a lot of this goes on the assumption that you're doing this with me anyway. So we're just going to go from here. Nice bent knee on this front leg, so on your right leg. Knee in line with ankle, heel in line with the arch of that back leg. From here, we're going to lift and lower 3 times. So inhale, lift up, bend that front knee, bring the hands up, and then exhale, soften it back down. Look out in front. Good. 2 more the same. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. And 1 more big inhale, lift up. And exhale, soften into that warrior two. I just want you to take a little sway in the hips here. Just get used to this pose. Wiggle your bum. We'll come into a little reverse warrior. So rotate the right hand, big inhale, lift it up. Send the left hand down your left leg, stretching into the waist, looking up to the ceiling. Good. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, sweep through extended side angle. So right arm comes down to the right knee, and then I lift my hand either straight up or up and over, either looking down or if I've got that strength and I'm not feeling too wobbly, bring the hand up and look up. Coming all the way back to reverse warrior for me. So big inhale, lift up through warrior two, exhale, send it back. Good. Take a big inhale there. Exhale, extended side angle. So sweep it back. Good. 1 more reverse. So big inhale, lift up, warrior two, exhale into reverse. Big inhale. I want you to straighten that right knee as you take that big inhale, and then exhale, sweep through to triangle. So I'm going to do this slowly for you. Bring your hands to warrior two with your legs straight. Slide the body forward, and then bring that right hand down, either to the shin, to the ground, to the thigh, to wherever keeps you upright. Bringing the hands straight up for me. So we should feel this in the right thigh. We should feel this kind of everywhere, to be honest. Looking up towards the ceiling for me. Take a nice big inhale. As you exhale, soften the right knee, sweep that hand forward into that semicircle again. So we sweep it down, bring the hands down, rotate the back heel so we're back into our low lunge. Push back, down dog. I know that was a lot, big push. I figure I can do a lot when I can't see you because you just have to go for it. Pedal into the feet. Take a little child's pose if you need it. Do tell me if that was terrible, if you're okay. We're all still with me. Good. Bend those knees. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So it's our down dog split to low lunge left leg for me. Lean to the right. Inhale, lift the left leg. No, nice and high. Bend the knee, look forward. Exhale, sweep it through into low lunge. Just my stomp you can hear today. Good. I did just kick my little cabinet as I did that, but we're okay. I think we're there. Lift and lower 3 times. So look out in front and take the hands away. Make sure the legs feel nice and strong. Looking forward, inhale, lift it up, push through the feet. Exhale, soften it back down. Good. 2 more the same. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale, back down. On this last one, we inhale, lift it up, rotate the back heel so it comes flat, open to warrior two. I don't know whether it's any more helpful when I'm facing you compared to when I'm not, but we take the legs out nice and wide, hips forward, knee in line with ankle, heel in line with arch, roughly speaking. All feels a bit wonky today. Lift and lower 3 times. So big inhale, lift up, straighten those legs. Exhale, soften back down. 2 more the same. Big inhale, lift up. Easy exhale, soften down. Last one. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften, warrior two. Good. Just have a little shifty of the hips. See how it feels. Looking forward, rotate the left hand. Big inhale, lift up, reverse warrior. So we send the right hand down our back leg, looking up to the ceiling. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, sweep through extended side angle. So elbow to knee. Inhale, lift up this top hand. Maybe up and over. See how it feels. The idea with our extended side angle is that if I took this arm away, I didn't fall over. If you feel like you're going to fall over, don't take it away. Reverse warrior for me. So big inhale, lift up. Exhale, send it back. Take a big inhale to stretch out there. And then exhale through extended side angle one more time. Good. Either looking down, looking up if you can. One more reverse. Big inhale, lift up. Exhale. On that inhale, lengthen the front leg, so we're getting a big stretch there. Exhale, sweep the arms through to warrior two. Slide the body forward, so it's like our rib cage is sliding forward. And then exhale, bring the left hand down into triangle pose. Look up if you can. Place that left hand wherever feels comfortable for you. Just take a nice big deep inhale. As you exhale, bend that front knee, your left knee, sweep that arm forward, coming into our low lunge. So I rotate my back heel so it comes forward. Good. Push back down dog. One last time. Big push. All the way back. Pedal into those feet. Breathe. Good. Take a nice big deep inhale. As you exhale, soften the knees down to the ground. Uncurl the toes and rest back in child's pose. Again, feel free to stand as long as you would like there. Have a drink of your 7-Up if you so wish, or whatever you're currently drinking. And then let me know if you survived that, if that was okay. Hopefully we're all good. Again, you can spend as long in child's pose as you need. If you don't enjoy child's pose, if it's not really your bag, then do feel free, as long as I don't squish my mic now I've done this, to come onto your back and hug the knees into your chest and rock from there. So some people, child's pose just doesn't feel that great. So these just different things you can do. We're just trying to relax the body down. That's all we're really going for in that position. Okay, but well done, because I just threw that little flow at you. Okay, so a little bit of time for relaxation. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you do the core stuff today. I can't sing Fleetwood Mac at the same time, so we're not going to do that. But I wanted to, yes, look at our hip openers. I think, what did we do last week? I think I did a bit of lizardy stuff with you, didn't I? That rings a bit of a bell. Oh no, double pigeon. I'm just saying words now, aren't I? But I think it might have been a bit of pigeony action. So let's go for a bit of froggy action today, I think. See how that frog feels. Yes. Again, I'll talk you through frog. If you guys, I think you all know me and my style and stuff. You probably know what frog pose is, but I'll just quickly remind you of the little pointers. Remember, frog pose is that Marmite pose. So you either love it or you hate it. It is one that if you're sensitive on the knees, if you've got any issue with the knees, you might want to miss it out. So I will show you another pose as well if this doesn't look like it will float your boat. But it is a good hip opener because it works on the alignment of your hips. So it's really, really good for that alignment. Good in particular for women because we tend to not have brilliant alignment as we get older in the hips. Anyway, if you are on a mat, I want you to go lengthways on your mat. So you're going to slide your knees out onto your mat, just because if you do have a carpet or a wood floor with certain leggings, you're just going to keep on sliding, and I'm not there to help get you out of it. So it would require getting someone in your household to like winch you out. So we don't want to do that. So in frog pose, we start in our box pose I've got non-slidey leggings on today, so this is going to be fun. And then we slide the knees out. I'm just going to have to hoy them out so that they're going as wide as they can. And I'm on the inside of my knee. So you can see my knee joint is just here. And I'm on what I would call the juicy part of my knee, so the inside of my knee. From this position, can you see my toes? So I've got my toes facing out and my heels facing in, roughly speaking, at a right angle. Okay, to deepen this pose, you would take your feet a little bit wider. No one's ever asked me how to deepen the pose though, so I think you'll be okay. From this position, we come down onto the forearms and interlace the hands. I'm gonna have to squish myself back a little bit, aren't I? Don't recommend doing that in frog pose. Okay, so once you're down, if you lean forward, this stretch is going to ease out. So you're going to get a little release in the hips. When you lean backwards, you will get to a point where you might want to say a rude word, where it's just quite tight and, yeah, a little stiff, because, again, we've probably all been sat down most of the day. So for me personally, I like a movement in my hip opener. So I would lean forward, and as I exhale, I would lean it back and just see how it feels. So a little forward and a little back. If you find you are leaning so far forward that your chest and belly is basically on the ground, that's the way you would come out of this pose. So you would just sort of release, collapse on the floor, bring your legs together at the back, and then slowly come up onto the knees. If you can, though, we'll try and be a little bit more graceful than that, ever slightly, not a lot. So I would go from frog pose up onto the hands, lean forward, and then bring your knees together. Okay, so that is your frog pose. If you've gone into it and you've thought, oh, you bugger, and it hurts your knees, then I would suggest not going for that one, because it can be quite tender on the knees. You can pop a blanket or a towel or anything you want under them, but it's just not for everybody. Some people really, really love this pose, or they just don't like it, don't like it at all. So just see how that one feels. If that's not your bag today, we're going to take a little lizard, but I'm actually just going to come into it from this position on the knees. So if you're happy for frog, go for frog. If you aren't happy being a frog, then you're going to come onto your knees and straight from this position, take your right leg. God, I'm a balance today, and just bring it forward. So already in this pose, I'm getting a stretch into my quad and in towards my hips. So you should hopefully be able to see on my back leg, I'm not directly down on that knee. So I'm not putting all the weight into the knee, I'm leaning forward. So it's stretching into there. From this position, bring your left hand down, wiggle your right foot to the width of your mat, and then bring the right hand down. Again, you're going to probably want a little wiggle around once you get there. So a little shifty around, move the hips. Good. So this is the beginning of our lizard pose. You can take your right foot out a little wider. If you feel like you need a bit more room, take it off the mat. Just take it for a little stroll out to the side. Some people like to, if you can you see my right foot there? Rather than have it facing forward, they like to slide it over to the right. So it's actually opening up the knee as well, a little bit, inner thigh. Again, just see how it feels. You can also go onto the side of your foot, but again, it's a bit of a preference thing. Some people, they just don't like that feeling. So I'm going to take my right hand to the inside of my right knee. I'm actually going to come onto the side of my heel and side of my foot and just have a little stretch there. If you didn't like that feeling on the ankle, you could do the same thing by lifting that right hand all the way up to the ceiling. And again, maybe even sending it back a little bit. If you wanted to take that further, you could pick up the back foot. You might find it, you might not. Oh, not today. And you can open. But these are just the basics of your lizard pose. If you wanted to take it a little bit deeper, we come down onto the forearm. So you start with your outer forearm, so my left forearm, come down towards the elbow, and then I maybe see about that right. Generally speaking, the inside elbow likes to wiggle itself a little higher. So just take it wherever it's comfortable. Just a few breaths wherever you are. If you're in your frogs, again, just keep moving around. If you need to release out of them, release out of them. We'll come out of our little lizard pose here. So the easiest way to do it is just lean your body over to the left and then slide that right leg back. You might want a little child's pose. You might be happy a little higher. doing maybe our bum wags, all of those very technical stretches. Then, if you're with me on those lizards, we'll go on to the other side. So I'm coming onto the knees. From here, sending that left leg forward, having that little shifty, making sure that back leg is not at a right angle. So we're really stretching into the quad, into the hips. Bring the right hand down, wiggle your left foot out a little wider, then bring that left hand down. Move it around a little bit. You can see how it all feels. This might be a tighter side. This might be a slightly nicer side for you. It's definitely my tighter side today. If it felt good, I can inhale, lift up that left hand. Can either just straight up. I can maybe send it back. I can maybe lift the back foot. See about a mile between the two. See how it feels. Nice big deep breaths. If you wanted to come down to the forearms, starting with that right arm. And then what I couldn't really show you on the other side because you won't be able to see it, with this free arm, if you find your elbow doesn't want to come to the ground, just send the arm behind your leg and then wrap it around it. It's going to just take that arm out of the way more than anything, so you can bring your chest a little bit lower. Okay, just see how your hips feel today, see how your legs feel. Last breath for me. And then if you're in this little lizard pose, you're going to lean over to the right so you can send the left leg back, come into a little child's pose. If you're in your froggy pose, then depending on whether or not you've face planted, I want you to slowly come up onto those hands, lean it forward. Now you've been here a while, so you're going to make some noises as you come out. Slide the legs together. We'll see how that feels. Okay. And then from there, we're all going to finish with a little happy baby before we go into relaxation. So, happy baby. I'm going to unclip that. Okay. So, for happy baby, you're going to come down onto your back and hug the knees into your chest. So, a nice big hug, and then just gently rock side to side so you feel your bum lift off the ground. Once you feel your bottom lift off the ground, I want you to lift your feet up so the soles of the feet face the ceiling. You're going to lift your head so it helps you hold onto the outside of your feet. You're going to take your knees out nice and wide. You're going to feel a scooch vulnerable. You're going to feel a little bit weird. Bring the head down and then have that little sway side to side. Remember, if you start to sway, if you think you're going to fall over, squeeze your tummy and that'll bring you back up to the top. I'm pretty sure this pose is meant to feel ridiculous. So if you're not feeling like you're going to giggle right now or someone's not laughing at you, then you're doing it wrong. If you wanted to, we could try to straighten the legs here. Again, this just depends how they feel. Remember, I'm a short ass, so it's not too difficult. Take a nice big deep inhale. As you exhale, we can release the feet, hug the knees into the chest, give them a good squeeze. And then you get to collapse on the floor in a little bit of a heap. So, should we go into relaxation? I know this is the bit you all like. So, if you are down, feel free to stay down. If you wanted to, I would suggest popping on any layers that you might have. I would go and turn the lights off. I would get myself a blanket. I would do all of those nice things that mean you can get nice and cozy. Tell everyone to leave you alone for about 5-10 minutes. Okay. So remember, with relaxation, you can either lie completely flat if you're happy to. You can put a bend into your knees just to help flatten out the back. So you can have, just put my mic on. We can have the legs like this. You could even go for a little reclining butterfly. Can be a nice one just to give the stretch little hips, so hips a little stretch. You could go for the opposite way. You could go for legs up the wall. You can just tuck yourself into bed, I think. You can go for whatever you fancy today, okay? But I'm just going to stay seated because it's a little bit easier to talk that way. I'm going to grab myself a little block that looks very uncomfortable, but I'm going to sit on that. So it makes it a little bit more comfortable to sit cross-legged. Yeah, there we go. But just get yourselves set up, and I shall start in a moment. Okay. So just taking some nice big deep breaths all the way down to the belly. As you breathe in, just feeling the belly expand and lift. And as you breathe out, just feeling it soften back down. And we'll just start at the very top of the head. Slowly releasing all the tiny muscles in the scalp. Down behind the backs of the ears. And the nape of the neck. If it feels good, we can just turn the head side to side. Just easing it down to the ground. And feeling it soften out. Working back through to the hairline and gently onto the face. Just want you to raise the eyebrows up. Feel that tension rise in the forehead. And release. Just feeling it soften back down. Moving down to the eyes. We can gently roll them one way. And then back the other way. And just soften them down into the sockets. Moving down the bridge of the nose and the cheeks. All the way through to the jawline. We can just clench the teeth together. Feel that tension rise in the mouth. And release. Just feeling the whole face relax. Softening the tongue and the mouth. We can send that feeling all the way down the throat and the neck, deep into the collarbone. In turn, just shifting that feeling into the shoulder blades, maybe moving them side to side. And working over to the shoulders and gently down the arms. All the way to the elbows and the forearms. Through the wrists. And then deep into the hands. You can just clench the hands into fists. Feel that tension rise all the way up. And release. Just feeling them soften back down. Moving up to the very top of the back. We can gently work our way down the vertebrae. One notch at a time. Easing it down to the ground. All the way to the hips. From there we can send that feeling up to the top of the chest. And just follow the breath. As it releases across the chest. Down into the ribs and sides. And all the way into the belly. Just relaxing the muscles as we go. You can send this feeling in towards the hips, maybe letting them move side to side. And working through the tops of the legs and the thighs, all the way to the kneecaps. You can just squeeze the knees in, feel that tension rise in the legs, and release. Just feeling them soften out. Working through the shins and the calves, all the way through the ankles, and then deep into the feet. You can just create that final piece of tension there by squeezing the toes as much as we can. Feel the tension rise up and release. Just feeling them soften out and maybe ease to the side. So I'll just leave you for a few moments just to focus on the breath, to stay connected. We can count those inhales and exhales. And if any thoughts come at all, we just acknowledge them and let them go. Very gently, we can just start to bring our awareness back into the room. We can wiggle the fingers and the toes and just start to focus back on the breath. Just want you to take a nice big full body stretch to help you wake up. So a big inhale lifts the arms all the way up and over. Really point your fingers and toes. And as you exhale, soften back down. Very gently, in your own time. I just want you to roll onto one side and make your way back to a seated pose, just as we started. Take your time. Once you're there, we're just going to take those 3 breaths to tune out in the same way we tuned in. Sitting up nice and tall, just bringing the hands down to the sides. Take a nice big inhale to float all the way up. Easy exhale out the mouth. Brings the hands down to the chest. We can just plug the thumbs into the heartbeats. Find that nice, easy rhythm. 2 more times, just the same. Big inhale floats you up. Easy exhale softens you back down. And one last time. Big inhale. Easy exhale. And while we have the thumbs on the heartbeat, it's a good time just to scan through the body and just notice how it feels. Can then draw that attention towards the breath without changing it too much, just noticing how it feels in the body. And finally, the mind. I just want you to notice how you feel right this moment. And namaste. Thank you very, very much for joining me. It's always nice to feel like you're doing your yoga session with other people, I think. I hope you enjoyed that one. Got a bit of energy going, didn't I? um, Let me know if you think it sounds a little better with the microphone, and then I will try and do this bit better. I feel like I'm a touch blurry, but maybe that's maybe the best thing. And there won't be lunchtime on tomorrow. It is on Thursday instead because I've got Zoom meetings all day tomorrow. So I don't want to feel like I can't get it in somehow. You're very welcome, Rebecca. I hope you enjoyed it. So yes, it will be Thursday at 12. Don't know why I'm pointing a finger at you. And Friday at 8:15 in the morning. And then I don't know, I'll sneak some more in at some point, I'm sure. You're very welcome, Stephen. I hope you enjoyed it. You're doing very well with all your running and yoga, I tell you, putting us all to shame. So yes, have a really lovely rest of your evening, and I shall see you very, very soon. Bye-bye. Oh.